And I am live. Welcome. Finally finished Friday. So again, a little bit of a lazy chill. Yes. Right. Let's change this one a little bit. It always starts with the same one. If there is anything wrong with the audio, please say so. Oh, let's check if my microphone is... Yes, my microphone is working. And it's picking up the music again. And I now know why. Because it's all the way... New setup, new ways to prove myself as a pro streamer. Right. Welcome. How is everybody doing? It's let's adjust everything so I can sit a little bit better as I wait for my long dragon base to dry. Right, camera is whatever. Ooh, Friday. So, is it Friday technically after work immediately already weekend, or does the weekend start on Saturday? For my feeling, it's always Saturdays starts the weekend. But hey, John the Templar, hello, welcome. How are you doing? Whoops. Ooh, I've eaten a little bit hastily. I hope your weekend did also start already. Whew. Good, well, you can see him all in the distance. The long dragon is awaiting more paint splattering. There he is. I did some work on the base, as you can see. I dry brushed it. I added some green and brown inks. Well, the brown is not as strong as it's not as strong that it is really visible, but I like it anyway, and that's the important thing. And just because I am going to touch the base a lot, I have just decided, because I have decided it last week, but I did it just before the stream, because I forgot it to do this week. I did just cover the base with one layer of varnish, matte varnish, of course, Vallejo matte varnish. So it's a little bit more protected, as handling it will probably shave off some paint here and there. And again, I had a busy week and a long busy Friday. Just got home, grabbed a little bit to eat, a little bit too hastily, so sometimes sorry, I have a little bit air coming up. And yeah, it's paint splattering time. I have some reds and some yellows on my wet palette, as I am thinking about trying out some things with scales. I want to highlight the scales, of course. And I have repainted the eyes last week. And to be honest, I like them very much. There's the camera. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, now there are the eyes. I was thinking to make a, because I used a darker orange and an almost yellow orange for the eyes, to give them at least a little bit of a little line around it. Not black, as that would be too strong. So I am going to use the sepia liner from MSP Paints Reaper. Why? Because I have the paint for many years and almost never used it. You all know me, I'm one of those painters that has to try out everything. So when a very important Reaper painter and tells on stream that instead of using a wash you can line miniatures, and especially when you do it the right way, it gives a very nice, very tidy effect. So yeah, I was immediately, Reaper paints, oh, they have liners for that, yay. And I'm still thinking about what's now the difference between a liner and normal paint and a wash, for example. And every time when I go to Anne's stream, I forget to ask. But I think they are, as I see them, in fact, just a little bit thinned down paints that I guess flow a little bit easier than normal paints. As you have a liner, you have to make thin lines with them. I have no idea. If anybody in chat knows, let me know. And the base is still not dry, so I will not be able to paint. And as I just said, I am one who is very easily, oh god, what's the right English word for that? I have no idea. I will remember it in a moment. But I heard some really great stuff about the new Army Painter war paints, especially the new tones, or as they that's the name for their washes. Oh, the strong tone. It's almost empty, the original one. So, and I have used it quite a lot lately. So it's time to indeed get the new one. Also heard a lot about the rust tone. They have a complete new range. I already have 3 other types of things to apply rust. But hey, why not a 4th? And I must, to be honest, this is on a flat surface. Just the base that I painted with the metallic Army Painter plate metal, or plate mail metal, sorry. And then there's thought it was dry and added the rust tone just to see how the color is, and it's still quite shiny. As I said, I thought it was dry. It was not dry, of course, too hastily, but it does have quite nice rusty effect already. For the color, it has, of course, this is a flat thing, so normally you would use it more in curves and not on a flat surface so much. And as I have did buy those, and I saw I wasn't going to buy any more war paints, as I already have so many paints and I have got rid of a lot of them. But yeah, when I scroll down to say, that is my RE, what is Disgusting Slime? An effect paint. Okay, let's buy Disgusting Slime. And it is an effect, it doesn't say for what, probably to make disgusting slime. Put it on some white primer. And again, I guess it is not to be used on a flat surface, but it's a bit shiny, as you can see, probably. And yeah, how should I categorize this. It's has no structure, so it's not really structure paint. It's not one coherent color. It's fading here and there. There a little bit darker, there a little bit lighter. I will find on YouTube something to probably find somewhere something to tell me how to use it. I mean, I do love the color. It's a really nice, fierce, very bright, slimy color. What color was I? I mean, it's probably something like Tesseract Glow from Games Workshop. Well, this one is not shaken very well. It's even brighter than Tesseract Glow. It is a little bit thicker, I would say, but that could be the medium. I have no idea. Another paint to try out sometime, somewhere, somehow. Good. Coffee base, are you already? No. No, normally I would now say let's get the hairdryer out. Yeah. Yes, for those who say you have a hairdryer. Yes, I have a hairdryer. I have hair, but it's more of a mini dryer, as I do use it normally. Well, normally, yeah, not very regularly, but in this case I would use it on my mini. That's why I have it. But haven't found it yet in all my boxes, so we still have to wait a little bit. So how can I, well, just showing off some other stuff. I mean, I never buy just 2 pots of wash and a new ink color. I mean, yeah, well, of course, then I want to try out some weathering brushes. This is a scratching set for brushes from PK Pro. And I have some weathering brushes from Vallejo. And yes, I never buy one, I always have to buy 2 of them, even if I have not tried them yet. And I have a weathering brush rounded from AK. And I'll find the time and the ways to find out how it all works. I want to apply some more weathering and battle damage on my Space Marines. The Rogue Trader Space Marines. So that was a little bit in the back of my head, from maybe I can do something with that. Yeah, but then we still have to find out the whole weathering stuff. Okay, let's stop with the coffee for now. And what I did buy are these little guys. Oh, for those who the Gloomspit gets squick hard. I do have some older squicks, of course, the metal ones, but they are not. I was recently surprised that I only have literally a few. So this was on my grocery wish list. Grocery wish. My grocery English. My model shopping wish list for the long time, and yeah, well, if I'm going to buy some other stuff, then and I need 50 euros to buy for free shipping. So enough stuff again to paint. A little bit of blowing will maybe help. So highlighting red, I always love that color, but not to highlight, as I normally add a little bit of yellow or white, and strangely enough, if I add yellow I get more orange, and when I add white I get a more pinkish color. Always the same. Stupid red. So what I have done the last few years is taking a dark red, if I have painted for the base color, and then add a lighter red for the highlights. Does not always work that well. I mean, then the contrast is often not strong enough. But we will see how it goes today. I have chosen, well, I did use a contrast paint from Games Workshop for the red, and Heraldic Red from MSP does come quite close to it as the base color. The highlight color I think use Magma Red. I've already tried a little bit, and for the extra highlight some Marigold Yellow. Just going to try some stuff out, and if that does not work, I always have, but it doesn't really make it much. Oh wait, I have heard. I also have Fluor Red. Sometimes that. Sorry. There we go. That also might make it a little bit more brighter. I will see. And now I have something from. I did have 10 minutes before stream that I was doing nothing. Why didn't I just use our big friend Google to find that kind of stuff out? Because I'm a little bit stubborn and like to try out things on my own way. Ooh, that is a very nice bright red. Now, the brightest red that I have on the scales. Of course, the scales over here. And I almost made the mistake, because the light is coming, of course, somewhere from above, to start painting like this. So I would make the highlights on top of those scales. Nah, that's a little bit weird. So let's try to do it this way. Then I'm just going to try to layer it a little bit. First, a little bit of the darker red and lighter red, and nicely thin it. Let's see if we can get a little bit of and of course move the brush towards the point where you want the most of the highlight to be. That's one of the tips that I do remember, being said by several known painters, well-known painters, painters that know that what they are talking about, and not some weird Dutch guy that is just trying out stuff. And of course, this is a very time-consuming way to paint a mini. I realized a little while ago that it maybe would have been better just to dry brush a lot of it, but I have already painted too much different stuff that I cannot highlight. So let's see if we can get it to work with just some layering. Just slowly building up the layers. And if anybody is also painting stuff, I am, as always, very interested in what. And if anybody has, well, something else to share with us, what he wants to share. As I am not always as talkative as I think that I should be as a streamer. I do know there are always a lot of people that if they watch a stream, yeah, most of the time working, meaning hobbying themselves, and just listening. So if you are doing that, certainly not a problem, but if I keep silent for 2 hours and just paint, then why listen to my stream? Right? Although just the idea of painting along with somebody else can of course be enough. Oh, and there goes my brain again, jumps from one subject to another. Let's see, on screen you can see these I did highlight, these I didn't. So that is nice. Maybe I can add a little bit stronger highlight on the highest ones. And now I was going to tell, oh yeah, right, I have to thank a few people. Well, I want to thank all my followers, of course, but I have since a few days, since this week I am over the 200 followers. Thank you very much, people. The last few, cutie patootie. Yay, yeah, oh, thank you very much for the cheer, John. Thank you, you're amazing.
John the Templar has
yeah, I have 203 followers right now. Yes, still growing. And the latest followers, as I say, Cutie Patootie, Bonko Butkiss, Knapf, I don't know if it's Knap or Knaf, Kestelen, and Katunje. I hope I pronounce them all right. Thank you very much for the follow, people. And that's that was the little exciting message I had for this stream. Well, for the moment. Oh God, there goes my camera again. I want to do, I don't know. I guess I am a little bit too tired to totally focus on one thing. Also, I am a little bit excited because since 2 days I have my new bike. I haven't been able to cycle for 3 months, as my old bike could be repaired but would cost quite a lot of money, and I wanted to spend that money on my new bike. But now since 2 days I can cycle again, and that's a really great feeling. Back to some paint splattering. I don't think this weekend I will cycle a lot. It's going to be quite bad weather here. Also, I have to do some gardening tomorrow. I do have some little trees in big pots that I had because the renovations in my backyard, but I have to get back to the front garden. It's not really a garden, it's just a bunch of pavement stones, but at least those will make it a little bit more nicer. And also I have to add a few little plants in there, so that will probably be my Saturday morning and afternoon. I hope to be able to even paint a little bit before I start streaming. I will certainly be able to paint, as I will probably watch Muses Touch's stream tomorrow at 6:30 Central European Time, 12:30 Eastern American Time. I don't know if that is the. I know it's Eastern Time. 11:30 in the for the UK, and I will be following her stream 2 hours later. Oh, and hey Castellan, hey, hello, welcome, and thank you for the follow. How are you doing? I'm very glad you found my little piece, a little place on the internet. Oh, the camera has moved a little bit. There we go. Let's see, I add a little bit more of the That's a nice dragon. I'm doing good, thank you. Oh, that's good. Nice to hear. And I'm yeah, this is the Reaper Long Dragon, which is a little bit strange. At least as long does already mean dragon in Chinese, as far as I have heard. But hey, it's a nice. Oh, there we go. Very nice sculpt. With a few few little, at least one weird little thing. That's the moustache in the front. It's a little bit sculpted weird. The beard is much nicer, but Still looks great. Nice bass. And yeah, now I'm just as you can see, highlighting the scales, and as always with red. I'm trying to keep it as red as possible instead, and not getting it too orange or what's the other color again? Pink. And yes, that is how my brain works. My brain is always rushing ahead of me, so as soon as I have a thought and I want to speak about it, my brain is already miles away with some other shit working. And yes, I am very, very good at English. Sorry for that. So I should still get a little bit more the model towards the camera, of course, so you can see what I am doing. As always, this is not the normal way of painting. Well, I do normally sit like this, but of course not a little bit strangely towards the camera. And now I'm coming to the part that that's a little bit more in the shades. Still, I want to add a little bit of, especially in this part here. So I'm going to use a darker red. And add a little bit of a. Oh, I have forgotten to try to use the fluorescent red. Always nice that somebody who has painted for 30 years still needs to find out certain things. Let's see if the fluor red does a little bit more. And oh yeah, my brain, as I just said, is quite chaotic sometimes. It jumps literally from one thing to another thing. So I now remember Castellan. At least I hope I pronounce it right. Yes, I am very chaotic with my brain power. And sometimes I just am talking about one thing and suddenly I am talking about something completely different, just because my brain made a jump, because that's logic to talk about that. And I was going there we go again. Alright, I just so you know, I do like to stream. Otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here. Not that I am a great streamer, at least not a great entertainer. Let's put it that way. I live in my little world, my little own world, try to share it all with you. But the big bad world is, I'm not really great on talking also about a lot of law things or anything that, not that it not interests me, but I have a very bad short-term memory, which so it takes quite a lot of time for me to really get information in my head. and I like Warhammer stuff. Warhammer 40k is one of the things I started with, but never ask me too much about the lore because most of the things I do not know. Simply because not that I wasn't interested, I probably did read a lot about it, but the moment I have read it and I start reading something else, I have already forgotten it. But if you have things you want to ask about painting, if I can help with something, I certainly want to help. That's one of the things that why I started streaming. Not so much to show off how great of a painter I am, but I'm also trying to get other people to paint somehow, just to show that painting is not always that difficult, but I do make it quite difficult for myself sometimes by painting stuff that I have not really practiced before. And also I have a little problem that when I paint sometimes I immediately see, hey, this is not what I intended. There's something wrong with it. But I cannot, my brain cannot my god, what was the word I'm looking for? There we go again. Me and English. Cannot deduct what the problem is. I see something wrong, but I cannot pinpoint exactly what and where and why. So I can tell people how I would paint certain things, but things like show me a mini and yeah, there is something wrong with it, something is off, tell me what. I would love to, but also color theory, certainly not something I grew up with. I'm more of an intuitive painter. I do try to put some color theory in the minis nowadays, as I do know I have a nice color wheel, for example, that does help by choosing complementary colors and what colors go very well with each other, that kind of stuff. But let's see, that is very bright. Let's go. See if we can get it. I think I can add a little bit more of the brighter. Let's see. This is the top. Then the highlights really should be for these ones over here. And indeed, sometimes I am so concentrating on painting that I do not talk at all. Okay, let's see, it's food. Make sure we get a nice little, still a little bit thinking about those, to do something brighter with them. Still no idea how to call them. Those strange leg hairs, elbow hairs, whatever you. Oh, now I have a nice, call it red. Let's go also over his one moustache hair that is red. And I do now see that the contrast paint that I used is a little bit more shiny. As this paint is quite matte. That's the there we go. This paint is now quite nice thin. Help also. That is a little bit here. In its neck, also some scales to highlight. His hind leg. This is not completely into shadow. Again, these scales have the highlight on top. These a little bit more on the side, on the I mean on top, in the middle. And then of course when you go down they should be more on top. The high point of the scales. His shin should be in, and you can quite a little bit more shading on top. The foot itself mainly is into on the right. Inside I have made gold. I still have to do those little nice thingies, the scales on the belly. Let's go on for the other hind leg, his knee. Let it come straight up. Let's go a little bit like there. Oh, and I see that I am hopelessly out of the out of frame. bit more yellow for the most highest parts. Wait one moment. Add a little bit red to the yellow. I painted up there. Does that help with the gold? Not really. Just give a nice little bit of a watch out now. I'm using non-metallic paints on metallic. That's of course not, but then you do have a little bit more of the yellow from the red, the highlight. It's not even that bad. Let's not overdo that. A little bit of the very bright color over there. And let's go back to the piece over here. Lights coming from those are also still very bright. More top side of the scales when you go down. A little bit more yellow. little intense painting. Needs a little stretching now and then. Right. Good. Let's see if we can get a little bit of it. That's too bright. I don't want them to look like they are wet or completely like shiny. But I do want to give them a little extra brightness. Let's get back to that a little more darker. As we are entering the shadows again. Still a little bit of the extra contrast to the scales, but just not as bright as those above. And there we turn back to the light again, so especially all those smaller ones, just a little. And of course also that little bit of orange. this goes also back to the tail is in the way. Yay! Scales are definitely getting smaller towards the tail. I should get out my knee chair again. Paint would be a little bit better for my neck and back, I guess. And it's right within my grasp over there in the corner. But this chair is so comfy. Yeah, but to be honest, not for painting. This chair is so comfy. Last Sunday, what was I watching again? On Amazon Prime. Stargate Universe. I saw that you could see it on Amazon Prime, so I thought, oh yeah, well, let's rewatch that series. Certainly not. I don't like the seriousness of that series, but it's. I did like it. And a few hours later, I woke up in this chair. So probably I have been, and I was already on episode 3. Well, I'm very sure that I did not see the ending of episode 1. Yes. Okay. Some red paint. It was already dry. It has already dried. Some more. What was it? Magma red. Getting the highlights done, at least for these scales. Oh, don't forget to thin it down. scales stop. You get some weird they almost look like hey, don't know, I think I've only seen the first 2 episodes myself, or from Stargate Universe. Yeah, it's if you are used to watch the other Stargate series, then it's definitely not the same kind of series. And somehow I did like the idea that they that they are on a spaceship that they don't control and still visit strange worlds and that kind of thing, but the tone was a little bit different from the other series. That's what yeah, didn't do it quite for me. But I believe that was the whole thing about the series, that they indeed intended to give it that serious tone. But then I would have something like, yeah, then don't and call it something different. So that I'm not getting confused. Like, hey, it is a spin-off again and fun. But okay. Anyway, I was watching that and let's just say that I was very, very tired, so I just dozed off. So interesting was that series, apparently. I am quite happy with how this all looks, to be honest. You can see here, this is without highlights, and here we have with highlights. They do stand out very nicely, if I may say so myself. Now, as I said, those last, yeah, the tail is a little bit, let's just, a little bit like he has some weird pustules on there. Now let's make them red. That's together with the moustache, the only strange thing a little bit. Well, these I do understand, as they are a little bit the in the extent of the spines on its back. But the scales do stop here, and then you get those little bit weird, at least to me they are a little bit weird, but let's make them nice and bright without giving them the appearance of being a what did I say? Pustule? Is that even the right pronunciation? If I think of that, I will Google it, but probably I will forget about it very soon. Maybe that I am remembering myself tomorrow. should give these. You should give those even a little bit of a bluish, as they are in the extension. Well, let's get the dragon blue out. That was this one. Yup. Again, let's experiment a wee bit. Oh. Yeah, but dragon blue was to be the. Oh, right. Before I forget, the dragon blue I did use for the highlights. And I did mess up his eyelids a little bit by painting some orange on them. And before I forget, as we are with the eyes, I was going to try to get a little bit of a line around them. Let's get my lining. No, it's not really my lining brush. But it's the one that I use for lining. This is indeed how long have I haven't used my sepia liner pokey tool. So a sepia liner. And I do want to get some a little bit of a darker line around the eye, the iris and everything. Let's see if we can get it nice and straight. Oh damn, I cannot even see the point. The point of what? My brush. Oh. There we go. Now I thought immediately the sepia is a little bit darker than the orange, as it is more brown. Yes, that was also what I was looking for. It's quite delicate. The line from the it's iris anyway. This left eye is okay. See, yes, that was exactly what I wanted. His right eye messed up a little bit, of course. Luckily, the marigold yellow is the yellow I used for the eye. Oh, it wasn't. All right, I added a little bit of orange to it. That's it. Also, his right eye is a little bit smaller than his. Not the eye itself, but the iris is a little bit. Iris and pupil. Yeah. Iris is the black part, and the pupil is the black part, and no, the pupils are the yeah. Come on, brain. make sense and sentences. Again, a little bit of pupils, black and iris color. Thank you, Scanian. And hello, hope you are well. I am, and how are you doing? Welcome, welcome to my little corner of the world on the internet. Just trying to not to mess up some dragon eyes. Oh, I should say long dragon, Chinese type of dragon made in the USA. I'm okay, glad to be here. Good to hear. Nice to have you here. Are you also a mini painter? Some other hobbies that you like to do? Or just browsing? Not that I am curious, but I just want to know everything. No, not really. I am. Yes, been in the hobby since 19. Oh, nice. That's longer than me. Although I am almost of that build. I'm from the 1970, so it was not quite possible to be in the hobby at that moment. And I started quite late, but so what are your favorite things to paint, if I may ask? Have you been a war gamer or more single miniatures or Dungeons and Dragons related? Or maybe more historical? Or something completely else that I am not thinking of? And all just, if I may ask, you don't have to answer, of course. Just trying to make a little bit of small talk. Historical miniatures in 25 120mm. Used to do 50mm, but too old and blind now. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. That's 50mm. Oh damn. I've always been in the more 25mm scale, but I can indeed. I mean, I do have reading glasses since quite some time. 12, almost 50 years, I guess now. But indeed, even though I get new glasses every 2 years, yeah, some of those magnifying glasses are quite handy nowadays. And that's also why I chose for this little mini, even though all those scales are quite small too, but I at least can still see them. If I really have to, I will get out my magnifying glasses, but I don't like them to use them on stream, by the way, as I don't also want to use the light in them, and then I shine too much into that's something I don't like. It's more the thought. 25, 80, 28 millimeter is at an end too. I do both wargaming and single miniatures. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I did. Let's see, I started in the 90s with wargaming. I did start when I was 14 with building kits. But I always had something like, yeah, but they just stand there catching dust. So I would like to do something more with them, and a friend of me introduced me to, hey, let's say a game called Hero Quest. Yeah, well, that was the whole start towards the whole wargaming stuff for me. You can build stuff, you can paint stuff, and you can play games with them. Only problem was, especially for Games Workshop, they change every 5 years with the rules, and my brain cannot cope with that. Luckily, I found a something else in Dungeons and Dragons, and indeed just in single miniature painting. Do you, by the way, have a certain area that you are collecting and painting mies, or all kinds of eras? Also, I am not really a big-brained historian or anything. But it's always interesting. I mean, everybody knows about Napoleon. And the place I live now is near a small city that had in the Netherlands a big battle. It's called Grolle. Officially, it's called Groenlo, but in the locals still call it Grolle. And so they did have a big battle around. At some point in history, and they reenact it once every 4 or 5 years. When that happens, my wargaming will move exclusively to 54 1/32 scale. I have an extensive number of 50 for Napoleonic miniatures, but we may do World War II or the English Civil War. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there are, for what that matters, there are enough wars to choose of, unfortunately. My first building kits were also World War II, and as always, I never got into the law about. I mean, I learned about World War II, of course, at school, but don't tell me who, what. Thank you very much. I'm trying to make something of it. It has been in my cupboard for a long time, and I had recently had to clear out my whole hobby room. And yes, I'm one of those lucky guys that does have a complete room for his whole hobby. But I had to clear it out for renovations. Still a lot of stuff packed. And I'm still unpacking. And it was one of the first minis that I did unpack. And I immediately decided, I'm streaming, I need a mini to paint. Let's start painting it. As I had already base coated it. And yeah. And now it's, as you can see, my stream. Where is it? All the way there. And there. Hey, finally finished Friday. I originally started this stream just to finally start painting on miniatures that I once started but never finished. You are doing renovations and you hate it. Yeah, I have a rental house. So it was a little bit forced on me, so I did not really have a choice in that. But as I did get complete new ceiling in here with a lot of better insulation, I got a better all new windows. So that was just a big plus. But yeah, it was quite a especially if you are really doing themselves, it is good. Yeah, I got solar panels, everything, so it's the winter can come. Oh wait, it's still not summer yet, but okay. Yeah, no, but the only thing was because they wanted to insulate the whole roof, and of course my hobby room is just beneath the roof. Everything had to get out, and it was quite crowded in here. The good thing is, I already threw out a lot of stuff that I had lying around and never did anything. No, not minis. Of course, why should I throw out minis? Of course, but a lot of stuff that I have collected, especially also because I like to build. I'm also a science fiction fan. So that's yeah, a lot of that, but a lot of stuff that I had already for 10 years lying around and never came around to use it. Well, if I haven't been using it in 10 years, then I don't need it. So it was a really nice big cleanup. And it's still a mess here. You don't see it, luckily, but I'm still unpacking boxes. And that also made me wonder a little bit. I mean, I'm collecting, building, painting for over 30 years now, and yeah, I had about 58 boxes with only stuff from my hobby room. Do I really need all that stuff? A lot of for people who have seen my stream before, I call myself sometimes a collector of collections. It opened my eyes to. I mean, if you collect minis, okay, but I was also starting to collect all kinds of paint brands to try everything out. Never found time to do it. You know, brushes, all kinds of expensive brushes. Never even came to really try out. And to be honest, a lot of techniques like wet blending, still have to really learn it. Don't get me started on non-metallic metallics. That kind of layering is for tabletop standard it's very nice, but I have enough metal miniatures to line a room and make it for. Yeah. Okay, I'm not the only one. Yes, yay! Yeah, but it's when you have to pack everything and label everything and keep track of where do I put what. I had 8 of those fishing tackle boxes. 8 of them, all with all kinds of beads that I bought at cheap stores and whatever. Oh, I will use them. I see something in them and I can use them for, but they were still lying around. And so yeah, no, that kind of stuff I did give all to charity or to be recycled. But yeah, I mean, minis, and it is a little bit ridiculous, and especially with my job, I am just a factory worker in a meat factory, and the only thing is that I have a start time, but not an end time. I'll use it, I really will. Yeah, 10 years later, yeah, it's still laying exactly in the same spot where I put it 10 years ago. Yep, yeah, so yeah, that kind of stuff. And also when I now open a box and I see another box with beads, sorry, I will look over it. If there is really a nice thing that I say, that has something really, really specific on it, or then I probably will keep it, but otherwise there are enough people I can make very happy with that. And I mean, I literally, before the renovations, right now, you know what? There we go. And if you think that those are all my paints, no, I have paints over there too. But those are my scale color paints, metal paints from all kinds of brands. These are my Reaper colors. Here I have a little bit of fluor colors and my speed paints and contrast paints. And yes, I did buy some stuff that I really needed, but then I had, hey, this was 20% off, just let's buy 4 other colors that I probably already can mix with other colors that I already have. And I have started half a year ago to collect the acrylic, these acrylic paints from Abteilung 502, because I wanted to one of the main things when you are painting is diluting your paint. And I've never really learned. I just add a little bit of water and that's okay, or it's not okay, or this is without medium effect, so you have to really and also I started out with only yeah, that's the thing. I have now a nice collection, but yeah, I have tried a few things. I did like them, but you have to really get the feeling for the Abteilung. I like them. For so as far as I have, I spent one afternoon as they have a set with the main colors. So the magenta, yellow, and the they still call it the blue. And I wanted to try out a little bit of color theory, just mixing stuff and see what kinds of colors I can get. So that's also one of the things, color theory. Yeah. But to be honest, so these are still acrylics. Artist tube paint. Yeah, they are like nice, thick, and you really have to, they are acrylic, but you really have to add medium to it or water to thin them down to the right consistency. As if you do put this straight away out from the tube on the mini, I can assure you, you will lose every detail that's on there. But yeah, I did buy them so I can study color theory and finally get myself to really learn how to get the right consistency with paint. As yeah, well, in fact, Reaper is straight out of the bottle, although with layering like this I do add a little bit of thinner. Scale color I like because they are very matte but also very thick, as they use a gel-like medium. So they don't, there you have to oh, sorry, my brain is always ahead of me. It's always running away from me with other thoughts. You have to yeah, thin them down at least. And they are artist tube paints. I also bought them because the company where I bought them, I guess they are getting rid of them. They do not sell that good. And yeah, I got them with 20% off. So yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Let's buy immediately. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24, 27 paints. Yeah. Still have to use them, as I said. But it's always work that is getting in my way. As I said, I have a I have a job that I never know when I get home. But every morning I start, oh, this afternoon when I get home, I will do that. Okay. And when I get home, it's 6 o'clock. Okay, now I have changed my mind. It's yeah, well, life. And let's not get starting to complain about work. Life would be good if we didn't have to work. Yeah. Well, to be honest, if I didn't have to work, I could get certainly more painting done. But I also would be. I don't know what lonesome mean. I can be very good alone. I have never had any problems with it. But then I would be 24 hours just in this house and painting. Probably. Maybe a little bit more streaming, but that's, let's be honest, it's nice, but it's not really social contact. So that would be a little bit. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I see this whole collecting minis a little bit like, hey, when I get my pension, I finally can get more painting done. Luckily, of course, I do have some friends that do know how I am. And sometimes they just say, right, it's time you get out of the house, we are going somewhere. And then I'll feel, oh, but I'm not really in the mood. Yeah, come on, let's get out. Let's do some fun, but I am doing something fun. Yeah. And they do understand, as they have the same hobby, so it's more for them. They are married, I'm not. And then just get away from the family a little bit, and you are getting out of the house. And there we go. Ooh, so many, almost already 2 hours of streaming. Time always flies when you have fun or are very concentrated painting. That means that I, in a few minutes, will end this stream. Sorry. But I will return. It is tomorrow evening at 8:30 Central European Time. That's 7:30 p.m. of course. Sorry if you are in the UK. 2:30 if you are on the east coast of America. And this guy will be again on my table. Normally on Saturday I would be painting a bust. But as I said, because of the renovations I had to pack a lot of my stuff in boxes, and I'm still unpacking the boxes with all my minis I still do not have at home. They're still at a friend's home. I first want to make sure that I get all my other stuff rearranged. But in one of those boxes is the bus that I normally on Saturday paint. Yes, that is my community challenge for this year. I try once a year to find a certain mini or a set of minis that I am a little bit afraid of painting, and then dare my community to get all their channel points into that to get me into still painting that mini or that bust or whatever. But yeah, that's on a hold right now. So tomorrow I will be back. Ooh, I did hurt my thumbs last week somehow. Never mind. Keep on painting. So this is the Long Dragon as I am painting it. I've done a little bit with the eyes, a little bit of a liner around it, and mainly highlighted all the scales. Still have a lot to do, but that will be something for tomorrow. Which leaves me to sorry camera. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the bits. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, right. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I hope to see you another time. And have a great weekend. And hope to see you next time. That's very nice chatting to you. Good night. Bye.